Well,
Um,
concerts. So
oh,
yeah. So
Depeche Mode.
yes.
I heard you went to a Depeche Mode concert on last Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. That was quite incredible. So yeah. Well, I've constantly told you numerous times on like why they're my favorite. Um,
I don't think I pass a day without hearing what new
I
Depeche
keep
Mode have you
reminding you
heard.
like every day. It's just like
Trust me,
it's
I
just
got
like
a new
so. How's it
Alexa,
going? Hey,
so
did
I
I tell you
trust me.
this?
I'll be asking Alexa.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. It's gotten to the point now where it's almost like, um, like if I even just like showed up and I had like I showed up to your place and we were gonna like eat like pizza and like watch some stuff, I would be I'd be calling you saying like, "Hey, have I told you how much I love them?" Oh, it's
Yes.
5:09. Okay, I'll bring the pizza right up. Like in
Um,
pointless conversation.
I mean, I don't hate it. I actually love it when we talk about Depeche Mode because you get really excited, like a schoolgirl. You're like a what's I forgot the name, the term for girls that like hang around like rock stars. I forgot what they're called. Groupies. You're like a groupie. There you go. You're like a groupie for them. I think it's really cute.
Great. No,
You heard
no,
me.
I, I do, I do that. Um, well, I think I sent you this that in LA on I think on December 13th in LA, that is officially Depeche Mode Day.
Yes. I'll
Yeah,
read it out loud. It says Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez has declared December 13th, 2023 as Depeche Mode Day in LA, a special event at City Hall with honor Dave Gahan
Gahan. Yeah,
and Martin Gore, as well as celebrate the synth pop outfits connection with the city. Hashtag Depeche Mode.
that's right. And you know what? Even if I'm not in LA on those days, I'm still celebrating it. Actually, I don't know
Mm,
why I would celebrate it because I
yeah.
celebrate that like every week.
It's Depeche Mode every day,
Yeah,
you
pretty
know?
much. Yeah. Um, but I certainly think in the grand scope of things, they even consider themselves like a very underground band. Like they can, I like to see them as kind of like um, almost like the musical score for a movie. It's like their carpet where you're walking on it, you don't really notice it after a while, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm walking on a carpet. This actually feels quite nice. Um, they very much feel very like underground, and why I think they're incredibly timeless. And yeah,
I
just
mean, I feel like you can't escape any, any generation without Depeche Mode
mm,
being brought up at least once because they make hits.
mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
almost,
they still do.
yeah, they still do. It doesn't matter. They still
Yeah,
make hits. It doesn't matter. And
mm,
even older hits are still,
they're becoming new again.
they're just, yeah, they keep renewing themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
it's an amazing thing to see because not a lot of bands achieve that. Not a
Yeah.
lot of bands achieve that.
Well, and then another thing too is that I know like when I was going to school, it was like before we met. I was still a huge fan of them, and then I knew everybody was like loved like the new thing, like Lady Gaga or even like Skrillex, and I was just like, what is that? But what I love saying is like, yeah, when people said like, oh, my favorite is Lady Gaga. Oh, I love Shakira. Oh, I love Skrillex. I'd be like, well, guess what? Those three wouldn't be around if it wasn't for these guys.
Oh my God.
Well, that's actually true. Is
I mean, you're right. Yeah.
like I know
I'm sure that.
like Lady Gaga. I think she was a big fan of them. Um, Justin Timberlake, I know, is a big fan of them.
Hmm, hmm.
Billie Eilish is a big fan of them.
Oh, yes. And she's been to a concert or two before
Oh yeah,
recently. Yeah. She's posted it on her Instagram.
yeah. Um, well, good. Um, and I know I think Shakira said that she loves Enjoy the Silence and like that
Yeah.
song kind of like carried her through, like, yeah, this is the kind of musical style that she wants to do. Um, but yeah, so it always, I always love when people tell me like, oh, I love, like I said, like love Lady Gaga, I love like Justin Timberlake, even like Coldplay or Muse or the Killers. And I'm
Oh,
just like, well, guess what? They were all influenced by these guys. So, ha.
I mean, we won't have many of the artists now without Depeche Mode.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, what would we do without Lady Gaga? Honestly,
I
I don't
think I
know.
think the
I
world would be
genuinely don't
I
know.
think the world would be dead.
I think so. I think we'd still have just everyone,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
uh yeah, I feel like Depeche
We
Mode
need the
is
poker face.
oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel like Depeche Mode is like a founding father of some sort, you know?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
would
know
say
what
if
yet, but it is a founding
I
father.
feel
They are.
like I would say a founding father of electronic music and basically like
Mm,
alternative electronic music. Um, but something that I love is that when they hit a new decade, like especially if you listen to their stuff from the 80s and then jumped to their stuff from the 90s, that's when grunge came around.
right.
They definitely were able to um, change their styling, but at the same time keep it to then fit with what was definitely popular.
Hmm. Right.
So yeah, eventually when you listen to songs of faith and devotion, and especially ultra, you'll hear very much grunge sounds.
I'm a big fan of grunge. So I know I'll enjoy it regardless.
That's right.
And
No,
up to now, to every source, their number one is Violator.
that
It
because it's considered their most um, um, popular because of um, it's sold the most, I believe. Yeah, like looking at a every Depeche Mode album ranked from worst to best. The worst one is apparently Broken Frame, which I know how much you like that one. I kind of agree.
kinda.
No offense.
Just kidding.
Um, but but then like lower they have like Exciter and Spirit. I'm like, you know what? After listening to those two for a while, it's like, those are actually not bad.
Mm-mm.
Um, but yeah, then number two they have Violator. Number one is Music for the Masses, and I'm like, see, as much as I love both of those albums, personally, Violator is my top one, and
I
then
feel like it is for everyone, you know?
yeah, for me personally, I'd say like my top five would be one is Violator, two is Songs of Faith and Devotion, three would be I think Ultra, four would be Music for the Masses, and fifth probably their new one, which is Memento Mori. Like I was so surprised on how good that album was. Um, so yeah, um,
Well, I mean, if you want to know the semi-official list for the top five for Depeche Mode, it's Music for the Masses at number one.
mhm.
It's number two, Violator. Number three, Black Celebration. Four, Songs of Faith and Devotion. And five, Playing the Angel.
See,
Those
okay,
are,
that's
yeah.
kind of where I'll have to fight them. Playing the
Yeah.
Angel, well, I think is a great album. Um, there's something wrong with the sound mixing for that one. Like some parts sound louder than others, um, and yeah. Well, I think Playing the Angel is definitely a great album. I don't think it would be personally be in my top five. Songs of Faith and Devotion, of course. Black Celebration, well, I think is a personally to me, I think is a great album. It wouldn't be in my top five.
It would be for me, but,
Mm,
fight me on that one, whatever you want.
no.
Well, if this is their least favorite band. I'm sorry, least favorite album for everyone. It's Exciter.
I disagree. Um,
It's
it,
ranked 15. It's still a very last one.
Exciter
It's
because it's different. You know, it's definitely, well, especially they did Ultra right before that one. So if you listen to Ultra and then jump immediately to Exciter, you're like, whoa, what just happened? Exciter is more like calmer type type stuff at times. Um, they definitely do a lot of songs about love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I understand why not a lot of people like that one because it's very different from them, but I still hear their sounds to it. Um, yeah, did Delta Machine? Well, I personally don't think it's one of the best ones. Um, I get a kick out of some of the songs, but then I saw somebody on YouTube, they released the demos for it, and I'm like, nope, the demos are way better. I'm like,
It feels like that sometimes, no? Like whatever they release isn't as good as whatever the demo was.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've heard some of the demos for their previous songs, and I'm like, okay, I definitely hear it in here, and they're cool at times. But yeah, the ones for Delta Machine, I'm like, dude, what happened? Like these sound so much better.
Oh
Like
boy.
I sent them to another friend of mine, and they were just like, well, screw that album. I'm listening to these more.
I mean, Delta Machine is ranked 13, so it's their third
It's
from last.
it's one of the lowest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but still, I love them. I will continue to love them, and I absolutely think they're 100% timeless. And
I
what's
agree.
and even what's funny too is that when I went to the concert, there was a whole bunch of people there that looked like they've been listening to the stuff for like 30 years plus, and then I saw like some like little kids, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, they were either dragged to go see them or they actually were genuinely like excited.
Dragged,
Um,
honey, they were blessed to be there. Okay.
sure, yeah,
God bless.
actually, yeah, they were blessed.
If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to listen to the full episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe for more from the cinematic duo.